Hey, what's going on, y'all? So yesterday I went to check out Luc Besson's reimagining of Bram Stoker's Dracula, starring Caleb Landry Jones, Zoe Blue, and Christoph Waltz. And I'm looking forward to telling you guys a bit more about it. With that being said, this is El Camino, and welcome to my Flick Report. So yeah, this version of Dracula is definitely more love story driven than it is blood, guts, and gore driven, if you ask me, and stuff. So yeah, in this rendition, Caleb Landry Jones plays Dracula and stuff. He's the Prince of Romania, and the love of his life, played by Zoe Blue, Elisabetta, and stuff. Needless to say, they're head over heels for each other and stuff. Dracula, at this point, is obedient to God and just wants to do God's bidding. But he asked the priest, he asked the Pope or the priest, like, I just asked God to do one thing since He listens to you, like, don't let my love die and stuff, because he's in love with Elisabetta. And what happens? She ends up dying. So this dude ends up going on a rampage against God and stuff, and turns into becomes immortal for all intents and purposes. And yeah, man, just like for the next 400 years, man, like he's doing everything that he can to spite God and to turn people into, like, the undead and stuff. Needless to say, it's been a rough 400 years, because this is what Dracula looks like when he's not feasting and stuff. And when I saw this, when I saw him looking like this, it immediately reminded me of this, the bloodbender from that episode of Avatar, where they were in the Fire Nation, and this lady that's been living in the Fire Nation for X amount of years, who was part of the Water Nation, ended up learning how to bloodbend. But I digress. I just wanted to show you who that guy looked like to me. So yeah, 400 years later, Dracula, reunites with who he believes is Elisabetta, but it's not. It's just this sister by the name of Mina, who looks very much like his former bride. And yeah, man, the story pretty much picks up from there. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, though, this version of Dracula is definitely more of a love story. I will say this: there were fight scenes in this movie that could have used, some visual blood splatters and blood spillage in this movie, because after a while, if Dracula is going to be going on a rampage the way that he did in this movie, yeah, man, it demands for it. It demands for blood to be seen and to be visually shed, not just to be implied. I don't know if they ran out of budget for the blood or what, but yeah, man, towards the end of this movie, it ended up being more of a PG-13 visually looking movie than an R-rated movie. That's perhaps my biggest complaint when it comes to this movie, but I enjoyed watching this movie. Is it a movie that I have to say you have to run and see? No, but if you're looking forward to seeing a good Dracula movie, this one isn't bad at all. Um, my favorite one though thus far is is Bram Stoker's Dracula. I feel as though they did a lot more with that one than they did with this one and stuff. But again, still not a bad watch. With that being said, El Camino rates this movie Dracula. I'm gonna rate it a Tembleque with Chuleta tendencies and stuff. For some people, it may be an acquired taste. For other people, it may be just right for them. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You all enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless. Peace.